Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Today is Friday. Wait, this date seems very familiar. August 27th. It's Heidi's birthday.
It's my birthday.
How many years old are you today?
I honestly don't even know. Am I 47?
Let's not talk about it.
Or 46? I'm 47.
Yeah, you're 47 now. You just turned 47.
Yeah, okay.
Did you seriously not know that?
I honestly didn't know.
Right.
After a while, you just kind of quit paying attention. It's like, whatever, it's another year.
There you go. It's also National Just Because Day today, so you got that going for us. And it is National Pots de Cream Day today. I don't know what that is exactly.
I don't know what that is either.
I've got a guest joining me, and I've got the book. It's a nice-looking book. Julieking is one of the authors. Joanna Faber's the other author. Best-selling authors of How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen. This one's called How to Talk When Kids Won't Listen.
Okay.
Boy, we could have used this thing. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. 4 out of 5 adults claim to be good spellers. Females are the most confident people. 87% of them say they are good spellers.
I'm a very good speller.
I am not.
You are not. Yeah.
Well, it depends on what we're spelling. If it's easy words, I am good. According to a new study conducted by the University of Michigan, more Americans believe in Darwin's theory of evolution than those who do not. Over the last decade or so, that percentage of Americans who believe in evolution has increased now to 54%. So there's more people going, I think we used to be monkeys.
Wow.
So there you go. I've got a link to that study if you want to read the details. If you can figure it out with your monkey brain. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Redwood City man allegedly broke into a Maple Street Correctional Center in Redwood City, was arrested by a correctional officer, and then pleaded not guilty to 2 misdemeanors in court. Prosecutors say 35-year-old Moises Donna Robles, never heard the name Moises before, claimed to be getting away from a man with a gun and did not know he entered into a county jail, but admitted to being under the influence of meth and alcohol at the time. Robles, sitting in the lobby, thought he was an inmate before recognizing him as a trespasser in the street. Says here the video surveillance showed he climbed in through an exterior fence, climbed up to a second-floor patio, and then went in through the jail patio door. So he broke into jail.
That stuff is nasty.
Yes, and his next court appearance will be November 30th. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. 33-year-old musician Lizzo revealed that she agrees with Matthew McConaughey when it comes to not wearing deodorant. So more and more
Lizzo.
More and more artists, actors, singers,
they're saying, I prefer to be stinky.
They're like, I don't take showers ever.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, me neither. And I don't use deodorant. And I'm like, yeah, I don't either. I'm not sure what that's all about. Isn't that just weird to you?
That is bizarre to me, but whatever.
Yeah. MSNBC star anchor Rachel Maddow is in the news. She reportedly renewed her contract with the cable news network, MSNBC, but the multi-year deal will see her 5-day-a-week show eventually go away, and then she's going to end up with just a weekly show, so she won't have to work quite so much. So there you go. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of PureCannaCompany.com, promo code radio. In Scotland, a man walked into a bank, handed the teller a stick-up note, and implied that he had the gun. The teller pushed the silent alarm button as she gave him some money. The man walked quickly out of the bank. When he got into the street, he started to run, but he had only gotten a few yards when several police officers stopped and arrested him. How did they get there so fast? Well, this bank happens to be right across the street from the police station.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Didn't think that one through, huh?
Of all the places to rob,
Jeez.
he robbed a bank across the street from the police station.
Yeah, that wasn't very well thought out.
No. Researchers say our brains boot up when we wake up in the morning. I can see that.
I can see that.
Every once in a while, I feel like my brain gets stuck on reboot. It's like, I think I need to just go back to sleep. It's blue screen of death going here. A new report claims a growing number of people are incorporating marijuana into their workouts. Really?
What?
That doesn't seem like something you'd usually put together, does it?
Not really. Unless you're in the Olympics.
Look at you. And she got kicked out of the Olympics. And a New Jersey doctor is accused of sacrificing animals for witchcraft.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's quite the story there. A new report claims underground arm wrestling is growing popular in New York City.
Underground arm wrestling.
Yeah, underground arm wrestling.
Why does it have to be underground?
Well,
Is it illegal to arm wrestle
I think that
regularly?
They're just because people are betting on it, I think is the reason.
Okay.
So they have like this thing where you're betting money and all of that kind of thing. And one final story here. According to a study from Georgia Tech Research Institute, your password should be at least 12 random characters long, including letters, numbers, and symbols if you want to consider yourself safe from pro-password hackers. Here's the problem with all that. Then you have to write it down and put it on a sticky note and stick it to your computer. That doesn't make a ton of sense. Have you seen that?
But pro hackers can't see that.
Yeah, well, I suppose. But anybody that wants on your computer can. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Julie King. She's the best-selling author of How to Talk So Little Kids Will Understand. She's got a new one out. It's called How to Talk When Kids Won't Listen. Oh, boy, Julie, I could have used this book a few years ago. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And a lot of kids heading back to school this time of year, and this is probably not a bad thing for people to know, how to talk when kids won't listen. So what would you say is the first step?
You know, the first step is sometimes counterintuitive, is when a kid says, I don't want to go, I don't like school, is to listen and to acknowledge that feelings. You know, so often they have negative feelings, they are unhappy or frustrated. We want to convince them that they don't need to feel so bad. We want to use logic and explanation. It just doesn't work. It is so much more helpful to say, you aren't in the mood to leave now. You were busy playing. You don't want to have to stop. Amazingly, the more that we can accept a child's feelings in the moment, the more likely they will be open to coming up with a solution to whatever the conflict is. We need to find a time when you can finish this Lego project. Let's put it over here so we don't forget. You know, the first step is to actually accept a child's feelings. And there's a connection between how a child feels and how a child behaves. In fact, that's true for all of us. There's a connection between how we feel and how we behave. If you think about those moments in your parenting career when you're glad that you weren't caught on reality TV, you know what I'm talking about, the moments when you maybe yelled at your kids to some dig, right? Those tend to be the times when we ourselves aren't feeling our best. We're feeling pressured for time, or we had a bad night's sleep, or we had an argument with our spouse, or, you know, a hard day at work. That's when we tend to not be our best selves. Other times we would handle the same situation with more grace. So it's true for us as adults. There's a connection between how we feel and how we behave. And it's true for kids also. So if we want kids to behave, when people say, I want my kids to listen, what they really mean is, I want them to behave. I do what I say at least some of the time. So there's that connection. And if we pay attention to how they're feeling and help them feel better, they're much more likely to behave.
So this is the second book in the series. The original was How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen. Now we've got How to Talk When Kids Won't Listen. Are you working on How to Talk When Big Kids Won't Listen and When Adults Won't Listen? Because I need those too.
Yeah. We actually, this new book covers a wider age range. We had so many emails and responses. I work with clients and workshop participants who loved the book. They had more questions. They wanted more examples and more stories. The book is filled with stories and examples of how we use these tools and these principles. And we've expanded the age range because, of course, their kids have gotten older since the first book came out. But you're right. The principles that we're teaching are not unique to children. These are communication principles for all relationships.
Now, with kids heading back to school this time of year, this is when we start having homework hassles. And, it's time to do your homework, but I want to play this game instead, or I want to watch this TV show instead. And in this book, you kind of cover some ideas on how to help with that, don't you?
We do. What we tend to want to say to a kid is, honey, just if you would spend half the time that you spend complaining about it, just doing it, that it would be done already, right? And I tell you, a lot of parents have tried that, and I've yet to hear the kid who says, "Oh, I hadn't thought about it that way. No problem, I'll get right to it." So we have some suggestions of what you can say instead that would be more helpful. When a kid says, "Oh, the homework is just too hard," instead of saying, "Oh no, it's not, honey. It's easy. Here, let me show you." Which again, not something that's going to encourage a child, because even if they get it done, what satisfaction is there in accomplishing something that's easy for other people? What we can say instead is, long division can be frustrating. There's so many steps to each problem. It can drive you crazy. So the first thing is to acknowledge that they're not in the mood. Then we can do some problem solving. What would make this homework a little bit more appealing, or maybe just less awful? Would you like to do it in your room, or would you like to do it in the kitchen while I'm making the salad? Would you like to do it with music on, or would you prefer some quiet? Well, give them some choices, put them in charge of how it gets done. And in the process, what we are doing is we are giving them a vocabulary for emotions, and we're helping them learn how to problem solve. So when we have conflicts, we look for solutions.
I like that. And the nice thing about your response is then I don't have to show them that I don't know how to do it either.
That's right.
Julie, thank you for the time. I appreciate it a bunch.
Thank you so much for having me.
Again, Julie King, author of How to Talk When Kids Won't Listen. I'll have a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to this, every time you shuffle a deck of cards, you get a new combination that's never existed.
No.
It says that. It says grab a deck of cards and shuffle. Most likely, you'll have created a combination of cards that has never existed until that moment. Any math expert out there knows that this is because the probability comes out to 52 factorial. So what it means is 52 times 51 times 50 times all the way down to 2 times 1. The probability that two card shuffles would be exactly the same is so small, it would likely never happen again. So they're saying that the combination of all of those cards, you have to get every one of them in the same order every single time, wouldn't happen.
But you can't tell me that a hand that I shuffled couldn't have been done at some point, that wasn't done at some point by somebody else in the history of time. There's no way.
Yeah, but they're saying if you're shuffling a deck of cards, you're not going to get the same one. You probably will never get the same one.
You won't, no, but it's not that it's never happened. It's misleading, I'm sorry.
I'm going to call a foul. We're throwing this one out. So
There we go.
You don't get a fun fact today.
There you go.
Otherwise, I'd say, now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline England. The Queen of England has ordered top aides to fight back with lawsuits over the hurtful remarks from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. So this royal rumble is going to get pretty rumbly from the sounds of it. Now there's royal attorneys involved. Good news is
I've never understood why that's such a big deal
I don't
in
know.
this country.
I don't think
I
it
mean,
is.
Princess Diana. Well,
If
it's
some people-
always been. I mean, it's like craziness.
I don't know, because I think there are
I think the whole idea maybe of princes
Yeah.
and stuff is kind of
people are like,
whimsical.
what if I was
but-
a prince? What if I was a princess? What if I was a king or a queen? I think that's what it is, but I don't know. I'm not going to be any of those things. But I do have a link to that story if you want all the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Florida man was arrested on Friday for allegedly making threats against Walt Disney World on Twitter. Said he was going to throw grenades into the executive's homes.
Woo!
Yeah, 31-year-old Stephen Jordan of Seminole taken into custody. 186 tweet tirade. 186 tweet tirade in a 3-hour span. So he tweeted that many times, apparently, August 8th.
Yeah,
At least two of the tweets
belongs
were aimed at Walt
in
Disney
custody.
World. Now deleted the tweets. It says, we'll blow you up and all your executive
Oh my
houses with
gosh.
C4. Then another one, he said, I will toss a hand grenade through their loft window. So all of this stuff, why, you might ask? Go ahead and ask.
Why?
Because he's crazy.
What was he upset about?
It doesn't really know. It says that similar charges back in 2019.
Okay, so he's been upset with them
think
for
he's
quite
unhinged.
a while.
Yeah, and I think it was somebody else back then. So I don't know that he has a reason, because there is no good reason. But I think he needs help. That is today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by BetterResultsAdvertising.com. An MTA motorman left his girlfriend to operate the D train through multiple stations in Brooklyn. The next stop for him could be jail. Police are looking right now to question the wannabe conductor, Dominique Belgrave. She's 28. After she posted a story on Instagram showing her and her boyfriend, identified by police as Terrell Harris, holding hands over the train's controls in a romantic jaunt through the 50th and 55th and 62nd Street stations. Yes, this is me operating the train right now, she said
Oh
online.
my gosh.
These videos that got online did not help him. He's in all kinds of trouble. MTA worker, I think he's going to be let go, or maybe has already been let go. He's being disciplined for sure. He's an 11-year employee, by the way.
Oh, man.
He earned last year over $100,000, $117,486, according to this story. And now he's going to lose that job because they posted this online. So just a bad idea. It's today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's insurancechicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Heidi, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, let me see. Ooh, I don't know if you can get this one. This is a little tougher. Here we go. Red Rock, Mesa, Arizona. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Red Rock.
Golf course.
No, it's a rehab center. Yeah, it's a little tougher because that could be either, but it is a rehab center.
You just ruined my streak.
I know. Well, that means no hug for you at the end of this week because remember the deal.
Aww.
Yeah, if you get them all right for a whole week, I give you a hug.
That's just cruel and unusual punishment.
She's my wife, by the way. I'll still give you the hug. You just ask for one. Anytime you want a hug, boom, I'm there. That is how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Take a listen to this headline. They were my guardian angels. A bride has to hitchhike to her own wedding. Can you even imagine?
Oh.
Yeah. Couple helped save the day for a bride who was forced to hitchhike to her wedding. Shanice Burney said she was already 20 minutes late for her ceremony when the vintage car she rented broke down on the side of the road.
Oh.
After borrowing the chauffeur's phone and ringing a couple of taxis who were extremely unhelpful, she said, "What do I do now?" And she poked up her thumb and some people stopped by. Waved down a passing car, 10 to 15 minutes is how long they were standing there, by the way. There's just not a lot of traffic where she was at. Matt and Michelle Moore happily agreed to take this group of women to their ceremony. She made sure she got a photo with them before they took off when they finally arrived. And it's really cute. There's three ladies with their flowers and their fancy dresses and these two folks that were literally just out for a ride.
Oh.
Says, I honestly cannot thank them enough for stopping and taking the time out of their afternoon to give us a lift to the church. I am so grateful. They were my guardian angels. I love that story. That's great. I've got a link to it, by the way, in the show notes. Have you ever given somebody a ride that, was stranded or anything like that?
I try not to pick up strangers.
I do.
I know you do. It makes me nervous.
I've had Heidi with me a few times when I've picked strangers up. And there was one time that I did that you were saying, no, don't stop. And I'm like, I'm going to give him a ride. And then we're 2 miles down the road, and I'm realizing I probably shouldn't have given him a ride.
Yeah.
It was a 10-mile ride, and my family was in the back shivering and quivering.
Awful.
And the whole time I'm talking to him, and everything I asked him made it even worse. So chatting a little more, and I'm like, oh, wow. I probably shouldn't have done this. So kids, don't pick up hitchhikers. It's a bad idea. If they're wearing a wedding dress, I don't know. It's probably harmless, but what do I know?
What do you know? That's exactly right. Don't listen to John.
Now there's hitchhikers. There's one dude that was limping down the road, and I said, we should give him a ride. And Heidi's like, no, we're not going to. I was like, he's hobbling down the road. She goes, yeah, he's probably an axe murderer with bad aim. So, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.